As another day passes, the gaping hole that Drake's career is being dug into is still somehow getting deeper. And after Drake just proved that Kendrick Lamar really is the boogeyman of hip hop, as he just made himself look like a fool as right after this insane feud, he rapped over the BBL Drizzy beat on none other than a Sexy Red song. Somehow this wasn't even the worst thing that's happened to Drake recently, as after a ton of music leaks from artists like himself, Kanye West, Travis Scott, and Kendrick Lamar hit the internet recently, one of the most jarring discoveries through all of the lost music media that was discovered was a reference track to the 8th song off Drake's 2018 album Scorpion, Mob Ties, that was performed and written by Vori. And while even recently, Drake has had other reference tracks leak, like Lil Yachty's for Jumbotron Poppin' off Her Loss, and also Cash Cobain with Calling For You from For All The Dogs. These reference tracks leaking didn't really even stain Drake or prove anything to us that we didn't already know, as with these songs saying absolutely nothing of substance or meaning anything beyond just being mindless bangers that showcase Drake evolving with the times. Outside of showing that Drake is just copying and pasting the mold set by younger and hotter artists to hop on their waves, these tracks showed us nothing groundbreaking, but with Mob Ties, this tells us something completely different and way more troubling about not just the way Drake makes music, but about who he really is deep down inside as a man. And when you find out why, you'll forever question if anything Drake has said in his music is even real. So with the song Mob Ties, it's important to remember the pivotal time in hip hop that this song released during, and for Drake, how important a cut like this was for his career and reputation at the time. Now, right before this track, and for that matter the entire Scorpion album came out, Drake was on the hottest seat of his career at the time, as after being beaten by Pusha T in one of the most diabolical ways that any rap beef has ever been won with a song like The Story of Adidon. With Mob Ties, it is clear that Drake was alluding to what went down with Push throughout this song, and in addition to him, Kanye West, who Drake was also in the height of their beef with at the time, because Drake believed that Ye leaked Push the information about his long-lost kid. And with this track's personal lyricism that takes such close aim to Drake's biggest rivals at the time, having it all be written and performed by another artist would already be one thing, but the fact that during his interview on LeBron James's The Shop all the way back in 2018, when Drake was addressing this beef and really trying to explain how he wasn't as big of a loser that everybody thought and that he was actually a victim, he said that after Push's Story of Adidon, instead of feeding into that energy and clapping back at him with more diss tracks, Drake was above this and just put this energy right back into the Scorpion album, as he said that he created songs like In My Feelings, Non-Stop, and most importantly to his confidence, demeanor, and credibility at the time, Mob Ties, which was a big moment that really asserted that while Drake still may have been embarrassed, he was still able to show that he can be feared on the mic. And with Drake holding this track as this creation he made when his career was facing some perceived conflict at the time, and straight up labeling it as this moment where he showed that he was still so powerful and unbeatable, and even tried to go as far to convince people on television that he won the beef by making cuts like this. Now that we have heard this reference track from Vori, who has wrote and performed the song, we are seeing that Drake is just straight up comfortable to lie to even somebody as respected and great as LeBron James, and just try to make what he is doing seem like something else and make it fit a narrative that strengthens his image at the expense of being transparent. And from a moment like this, to even The Hard Part 6 where Drake just gaslighted people for 6 minutes. Because of everything that's coming to light, whether it's the social media user who debunks Drake's story of him setting up Kendrick with the item seen on diss tracks like Meet the Grams, or it's this moment right here, where one of Drake's most important songs personally when it came to saving his reputation in his career was not even written by him. Drake's tendency to not just bend the truth, but completely fabricate situations to try to make his image look better is a recurring pattern from him, and when we see that Drake could even lie about the nature of songs even when his character is being questioned most, it really makes you sit and wonder what else he has lied about that we don't even know. Now, out of all of the Drake songs we have found out were ghostwritten by other artists over the years, this is without a doubt the worst one we have ever gotten, because while songs like 10 Bands or any of the other songs recently are tracks that were made to be bangers and turned down the substance all to be catchy, while Mob Ties does have its catchy moments, it's a pretty personal cut from Drake that was supposed to be letting us into his mind and emotional state in a time where he believed he could not trust anyone in his career, and now, to find out that even with Push revealing his kid, and him and Ye not being in a good place, and overall, just being conflicted on if there are people around him who are leaking out info. To see that even a song like this was not made by him and was simply designed to not just mimic Drake's cadences and vocal pockets, but also what he is feeling within his own head, more than ever just reveals to us that Drake is not an artist but a brand that even in what seems like his most vulnerable or personal moments, we don't even know if what he is getting across is even real or not. Now, besides the humiliating loss of this beef that Drake has only kept making worse, the most damaging thing that has come out of this feud is that Drake is a straight up liar who is making up more about his career and the very nature of his music than we ever have thought. And when we consider this, and put into perspective how Drake doesn't just lie about how personal his music is, but tries to gaslight everyone from his fans to LeBron James about how deep and important everything is, how can we even respect him in the same light as other hip-hop greats and overall? In a genre like hip-hop where authenticity is still one of the most vital factors for any artist to find success, especially as any sort of lyricist or storyteller. How can we give Drake the same respect as other MCs because he isn't just having other people scribbling about the life he lives? But what this Vori reference track is showing is that other people are flat out thinking as him, and when you try to wear the crown and rap, to be this big of a fraud is just an awful look and should force everyone to reevaluate your place in the hip-hop world if they have not already. So all in all, with another massive dent on Drake's armor, I don't know how many more of these he can take till he just decides to switch things up or maybe even walk away from rap as a whole for a few years like he has said he wanted to before all this, because with each moment that he acts like a fool or new information releases about him, Drake manages to look worse and worse all the way to now, where he has stained his entire legacy, because who knows, as Drake was around lyricists as young as Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole when he was writing Take Care and also ghostwriters like Skyzoo. Maybe his entire career has molded in this way, where Drake is more of a character being played that people almost come in and write for like a TV show, as opposed to Drake being his own entity that no matter what, is rapping from an authentic place and telling us a real life story in some shape or form. So let me know, what do you think of this strange Drake story, and how do you think this whole elaborate lie he got caught in doesn't just affect a song like Mob Ties, but his integrity and career as a whole? If this song is ghost written, do you think even more lyrical Drake cuts like his AM/PM series are handled by other writers too? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you want to see other rap beefs right alongside Drake vs Kendrick that have ruined people's rap careers, check out the suggested video.